Everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to another video. And today's video, we are going to be talking about the PS5. The PS5 event just happened recently on June the 11th, and now we know a lot more about the PS5, including what it looks like, which is going to be the first thing I'm going to show you guys. This is the PS5. This is what it looks like, and I know immediately everyone's probably going to be coming up with their own spicy memes to say what this thing looks like. The PS5 and the Xbox Series X are getting some really funny comparisons. The ones that I think are my favorite is that the PS5 looks like an air conditioner and that the Xbox Series X looks like a refrigerator. But I've seen way too many funny memes, but I'm going to save you guys the meme spam, and I'm just going to end up talking about this. So yeah, that's what it looks like. And now I want to talk about the PS5 and what is going to be on the PS5 game-wise, and even maybe some internal specs and stuff like that I can also talk about as well. The reason why that I have been also holding off on the Xbox is just because, for me personally, I don't necessarily think the Xbox is really going to change that much, and it's very funny because I'm an Xbox guy, but I think the Xbox Series X is just more of like a glorified Xbox One. Like, it even looks like an Xbox One, it just looks like it's a thicker one, so it's a thick boy. Yeah, I can make a Xbox Series X video if you guys want me to. If you want me to, I'll definitely do so. Just let me know in the comments. But let's talk about the PS5. So the things with the PS5, right, is that the PS5 definitely does look funky, but we also want to know how it's going to run. Everyone really likes to run about their specs. Everyone likes to joke around saying, like, oh yeah, it runs 4K Blu-ray. But yeah, no, it's all, in all seriousness, let's actually talk about what the thing can do. So, for the PS5, in terms of what we have confirmed about it, so far we have ultra high-speed SSD, integrated custom I/O system, custom AMD GPU with ray tracing, and 3D audio. Now that all sounds very good and fine and dandy, but the thing is though is that that's not all. There actually is some rumored stuff, and this is actually more the juicy info is. So the rumored stuff is that the console is expected to have an 8-core, 16-thread CPU, which would be pretty good, I would say. The graphics are extended to run on a variety of AMD's Navy family. I'm assuming that just overall better means graphics. This probably is actually the first console that can legit just default be 4K if you really wanted to. The new console is also going to have a custom SSD storage build built in, which is pretty cool. The internal Blu-ray drive is expected to have a 100GB disc and Ultra HD Blu-ray. Storage could be up to 1 TB as the standard. That would probably be huge because I know that for the PS4 guys, one of the inside jokes, like for Xbox's batteries and the controller, for PS4 it's the fact that there's no storage space. So having a 1 TB hard drive by default will probably be a definite increase. And here's hoping that you can also have a external hard drive, because another pain in the butt for everybody was that you could only have an internal hard drive, which I don't understand why. It's not a gaming computer, which I think is kind of weird. And then also as well is that the PS5 is expected to have a ramped up user interface, so more friendly, I guess I would say. That would probably be pretty good, because I know the Xbox had trouble with that as well. The controllers are reported to have variable resistance triggers for more immersive gameplay experiences. I would assume that's more of like trigger stops, or maybe they're going to make the controller's sticks vibrate. I have no idea what they mean by that. I'm just going to be flat honest, I'd rather say that than lie. But I have some theories on what that can honestly lead to. It's probably going to be either vibration or trigger stops, maybe. That'd be super cool if trigger stops were just built into controllers from now on. I mean, that would probably be one of the things that would suck for Scuff, because that's what they sell as some of their points for their controllers. But I would love to have the controller just default like that. That'd be so great. Now also the other thing that you probably want to know, the most importantly, is the games. So for the PS5, the games that are going to be near the launch date is going to include Godfall, Spiderman Miles Morales, Horizon Forbidden West, Onward, Soulstorm, Resident Evil 8, which I'm actually really looking forward to that one in particular, Demon's Souls. Now this one is also interesting. Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 is once again coming to another console generation. The GTA 5 has been on 3 console generations now confirmed. It's been on the Xbox 360 and the PS3 where it debuted. Then it came to the Xbox One and the PS4, and now it's going to the Xbox Series X and the PS5. So this is the first game in like recent history. In fact, I think it's the first game ever that I know of that spanned 3 console generations, because normally they would just stop. Like, this is a new standard that games carry over and people don't want to have to stay on their old consoles. I'm assuming that's also another thing is to get people to finally move on to old consoles, move on from them, I should say, is that if you can keep your old games, then there's an incentive to move on. And especially if it's overall better and the content keeps getting updated on those games. Like, for example, 360 GTA and Xbox One GTA are so much different than each other. They've added so much content, it's ridiculous. So yeah, if they do that, that'll probably honestly be better for the game's lifespan, because if it just carries over, that'd be great. And then also as well, we're able to also expect some more games. The other games are going to be Hitman 3 and Gran Turismo 7, which would also be really cool. The one thing that I'm really hoping, and I've heard rumors that this will fall through, and I don't know if this is guaranteed, so correct me if I'm wrong, but supposedly the PS5 is going to have backwards compatibility like the Xbox One and will work from PS1 up until PS4. That would be huge. That would be really huge, and I would really like that, because that was one of the biggest selling points, I feel like, for a lot of console users, is being able to play your old games. Because let's say, you get a, current gen console, let's say you get a PS4 or whatever, or you get an Xbox One. The thing is, though, is that in a couple of years, especially if you get this console late, like in the last 2-3 years of its life cycle, if you want to get the next console, traditionally you would just have to give up your old games, but now they're starting to carry over. It allows you to lean more into it, which is pretty cool, because 360 and PS3 to Xbox One and PS4, that was kind of like a new thing. You wouldn't expect to see, like, Modern Warfare 2, the original, on, like, let's say the PS4, because there's no backwards compatibility for the PS4, but you can do it on the Xbox One, which is pretty cool. So it's just different between each user and everything. Now, what do I think of this? This is, I guess, where you get more into the thoughts and opinions of the video, the meat and potatoes. But the way I look at the PS5 reveal is that there's a lot of good and there is a lot of, I guess, unknown. I wouldn't necessarily say bad, but there is some things that they didn't mention that can lead to a little bit of concern, but hopefully they'll just add them on, and they'll just add them on later. These are 3 things that I really want for this console, because keep in mind, I've never had a PlayStation before, and I feel like this is going to be my chance where I'm going to actually give Sony a chance and buy a PlayStation just since it's the new release of a PS. And these are the 3 things I really hope that they have by default. Number 1 is I really hope that the user interface and just overall the console is good on launch. The Xbox One suffered massively from a bad launch. Launches are the crucial thing for any media or anything in general. A business model cannot have a bad launch. Your first impressions count tremendously. It can be a restaurant, a movie theater, a shopping mall. It can be a book. It can be a movie. It can be a TV show. Even it can be even a story from your local 7-Eleven hobo. If it's not good at the very beginning and hooks you in right away, or in other words, sucks at launch, you'll lose a lot of people really fast. And so I'm hoping that the user interface is friendly at launch. It doesn't change. It's not complicated. It's not tedious, because like I said, the Xbox suffered from that. The other thing as well is I want there to be the backwards compatibility, because even though that wouldn't necessarily apply to me, I would love to go back and go to like the store and let's say go to downloads and go to their store and download any of the PS1 or 2 or 3 or 4 games, because there is some games on there that I would love to play. I never played Until Dawn, I wanted to play that. I never played Spiderman on the PlayStation, I wanted to play that. There's just so many Sony games, but I just don't own a PlayStation. I can't afford 2 consoles, but now I'm saving up to try to get there eventually. So hopefully that would be the case this holiday season. The last thing is community features. I was originally going to say game chat / friends lists, because there actually is some gripes that I've had with some of these console generations, the Xbox One. But so, with these consoles, please, for the love of God, have a decent privacy setting. The Xbox One had this stupid feature, and still does, where you can add somebody, almost as if you're following them. Think about it this way, the friends list on Xbox is like following somebody on a social media platform. You can just hit add friend, and they don't have to accept your friend request for you to know what they're doing. If I wanted to, let's say, my favorite YouTuber is on Xbox, right? I add them, I can see everything they do. If they're online, what game they're playing, whatever they want, I can see it. And that's kind of creepy. I don't like that idea, how that a friend system has almost become like a follower system where they just know everything you're doing because they chose to add you. I feel like that the Xbox Series X and the PS5 should have it where you have to add them back in order to see something. Or maybe have that as a privacy setting, sure, if you want to have a follower option, be my guest, but I prefer to actually not have people spam me 24/7. So I would honestly love to have it where people have to add me back, not just follow me and then know what I'm doing. That's just a little gripe I have with the Xbox. Second thing also as well, and this may sound like the polar opposite, but indulge me for a second, it's not. The game chat features in games. I really love game chat. I've preached about why game chat is important to the longevity of a game. You know, knowing that there's another person in the lobby with you and not just have it feel like a bot lobby. Is that I love it when people actually are alive and they're vibrant, they talk in the game chat, especially, you know, with the resurgence of Modern Warfare's game chat, everyone noticing it again. I would love to have the standard for all games have at least 1 or 2 game modes that has forced game chat. I miss forced game chat, I really do. I understand people are eventually going to catch on to the idea of Discord and Skype more often than they already are, and eventually no one may or may not be in game chat one day. I completely understand that. You know, people do like their privacy. But I feel like that the competitive modes and just also just maybe like one random mode should have forced game chat, so you're forced to interact with people, because that's how you make friends and everything. And you know what I mean? And I would love to actually be able to meet some new people outside my current friend group, because I like to get to know people. I'm a social guy. So that is just one thing as well. And even if they don't necessarily do that, that's fine, but give an incentive to go into game chat even if you don't force it. So like, for example, if you're in game chat, make it where you can do a cool feature that only relates to game chat. One of the things that I could relate this to is back in GTA 5, if you went into game chat and, like, let's say you were trying to rob the cashier, if you shouted in your mic, the guy would actually speed up and put the money in the bag faster. Little minute things like that, like have your voice actually interact with the game. So another thing you could do is that, like, let's say you're playing a first-person shooter. One of the things that'd be really, really cool is if you gave a call-out into your mic in game chat and your character shouted that call-out. Obviously, this would have to be limited to certain words, like, let's say, group up with me, behind you, let's go, you know, crap like that. You obviously can't say things like an F-word. But I would love it if you could actually do mini features like that where you can interact with the game to incentivize people to do it, because it's fun that way. So that's just some summaries of what I would like to see for the next set of consoles, especially the PS5. Let me know your wants, and let me know what you think about the current info for the PS5 in the comment section down below, guys. So I hope you all ended up enjoying, hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you guys end up having a fun and happy time tryharding at your favorite games. See you later, guys. Peace out.